and it's mine! Ah! So what TVR is it? Well, it's a TVR S series. More specifically, it's an S3. That means it's got the 2.9 litre Ford Cologne V6 out front, longer doors and a different dash to the S1s and S2s, but it still has the bonnet scoop, unlike the S4s. No V8 here either, like the SV8. Very rare car. They made about 113 of these. TVRs, it's difficult to know the exact numbers, but around 113. So, how long have I been looking for one? Forever. I was looking for one of these before I looked for the MG Midget, so about 6, approaching 7 years I've been looking for one of these. So it could have been a very big disappointment. TVR is also probably one of my top 3 favourite brands. At one point, my absolute favourite brand of car manufacturer. So it really could have been a disappointment. And I went to view the car. I've seen a few before and they've been in awful condition or too expensive. And it was raining and I was nervous because driving a TVR in the rain has a reputation for being a bit scary, and it behaved itself. It's really grown up. It's just lovely to potter along. And why did I go for the S series? I quite like wedges, but a lot of people don't, and there's a few problems with them. And what I really like, as if you know the channel at all, is classic old school sports cars. Following the wedge car TVRs, TVR didn't know where it was. It wasn't doing very well, wasn't selling many cars. It had these big, powerful Bruiser V8 wedges that were very highly performing, quite expensive, and not very desirable because people didn't like the styling. So they looked to their past, to the M series, more specifically the M series convertible, the S, the 3000S, because of its 3 litre V6. So they styled a car to be the follower. In the 1980s, 86, 87, I think these came out, the S1. Retro styling in the 80s is incredibly rare, but because it is a TVR, it's that backbone chassis and everything like that, it doesn't just look like a proper sports car, it is a proper sports car. One of the very last. It's not got the supercar defying performance of later TVRs. It's not got the stupid levels of grip. It sits really nicely on where you want a performance car to be on the road. It's hot hatch. The brand new MX-5, now they've made it have a bit more power, 180 horsepower, similar levels of performance to this car. It just feels like a really nice sports car that you can cruise in. And I really like that. I really like that. So the Westfield has gone. That's probably one of the most hardcore sports cars you can get. And every time I drove it, I raved about how good it is. Every video there is, it's me shouting on how amazing it is, how you can't beat it because it's so light, the steering is so fast, and that is true. But after 20 minutes of driving it, you forget all of that and only concentrate on the fact that it hurts, and it hurts a lot. And I'm young, you know, I'm 24 now. I'm a young person, and it still hurts so much. And last year I went around Europe on a road trip. Being one of the best things I've ever done in my life, I want to do more road trips. The MG is very comfortable, very nice, but I'm unsure about taking it long distances on the motorway. There's no fourth gear and modern motorways don't have hard shoulders. So I wanted something that would replace the Westfield that, yeah, I was thinking about it. And then this came up for sale. Like I said, I've always been looking for an S, specifically an S3. And I went and looked at it. All the ones I looked at in the past, you know, weren't a good buy. So I wasn't expecting it to be brilliant, and then it was. Next year, the plan is, and I know the world is in a state, and plans change, and that's just how things are, but at the moment, the plan is I'm going to do the North Coast 500 with a few friends. And I think this is the perfect car for that. 100%. I don't think you can spec a better car. Go on, let's chuck it in third, have a bit of a play. Because it takes bumps like that so nicely. And England's roads are just getting worse and worse and worse. The engine, when it's in fifth gear, quietens down enough with the roof up, which is genius, the roof. It becomes quite quiet and quite refined. It gives you all of the party, all of the fun, the jiving involvement, the shoutiness, the feeling, sensation of speed when actually you're not that fast. But with something I've never had before, a cruiser, just to whack it in a high gear and relax. And I think even today there are a few cars that managed to get that blend right, and this has, and oh, I'm so proud of you, TVR, because you could have let me down, but you didn't. Anyway, I've done so much talking, I think it's time we get the TVR to do a little bit more. What a place. What a car.